What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the latest update to Madden 20. Yes, EA has made yet another update or patch to Madden 20, which comes with some pretty big gameplay fixes and a little bit more. So we're going to get into all that. If you're new to the channel and you always want to be up to date on the changes in Madden, especially the Madden 21 news that's going to be coming out very soon, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you never miss any of the important uploads. So I believe this should be the last update of the year. Now, I know I've said that in the last couple update videos. I said that this is probably the last update, but there could potentially be one more because there were still a couple of lingering issues that I thought they might want to fix, and they did definitely address those in the following updates. This, we're halfway through April pretty much at this point now, almost, so I don't think they're going to patch the game after this point. This is the latest I can ever remember them patching a Madden game, so I think this is officially probably the last one of the year, but really, who knows with EA this year. Now, this update has been pretty controversial early on. They definitely made one good fix, but the other fix has the community kind of up in arms. A lot of people are pretty aggravated, to say the least, with this update. So I'm going to talk about all that, why people are mad, kind of the thinking behind the update, and a little bit more. So, first off, for franchise mode, just like in the last update, franchise mode got general stability improvements. Again, not really 100% sure what that means. It's very vague, but I think it just has to do with, the game crashing or things like that. Maybe online CFMs having disconnect issues or things of that nature. Obviously, if you're a franchise player, you know that certain times, certain things can crash the game or freeze the game up. So I think that's what general stability improvements typically means, is they're addressing some of those issues to cause it from crashing and things like that. Now, another big issue that came about after the last update that I've seen a lot of people talk about is the fact that you can't download user-generated files right now, like custom draft classes or, custom rosters. As a lot of community members, they do the off-season rosters with the free agent moves and things like that. You can't download any of these as of a couple weeks ago of that last update. Now, that was not addressed in this update. That's not something I'm sure necessarily needs to be addressed in an update. I think that might be a server thing that they can fix, like without having it to be an official update that has to go through Sony or Microsoft, but I'm not 100% sure. But it was definitely not addressed. I actually was trying to download a roster last night for something I wanted to do for a video. I still can't download anything. I tried it this morning after the update. That's still broken. I would assume they're going to fix that, but like I said, I don't think they need to actually patch the game to fix that. I think that's just something on their end, but it is still broken, and a lot of people are, rightfully really upset about that. Now, in terms of the gameplay, alright, two big things were changed with the gameplay in this update. Now, one of the things is something I mentioned last update video when I said I think they might still do one more update because of this specific thing, and lo and behold, they did address that, which was the nasty streak ability. It says they fixed an additional issue allowing the nasty streak superstar ability to be used on players out of position. This was a problem much earlier in the year. They fixed it pretty quickly, but the problem came back. Basically, the nasty streak ability in the run game allows you to pancake defensive backs pretty much every time. It's an offensive lineman ability. People were putting him at tight end early in the year, and it was just really clearing the way on run plays, so they patched it to where it wouldn't work at tight end. Well, recently people figured out how to get this ability at the fullback position, and it was kind of causing the same issue again. So they have fixed that. It's no longer going to work at the fullback position. I think that's a good fix, especially seeing how good the run game has been this year. You got to try to balance things and not have the run game be any more overpowered than it already is. But that brings us to the next fix, and this is what has been controversial today. The community's not really happy about it. They fixed an issue allowing defenders to run into the backfield unblocked with defensive formations such as the nickel 2-4-5 odd. Now, let me explain to you what this is, because I'm sure some of you don't know. Basically, the nickel 2-4-5 odd run defense came about a month ago. I haven't posted it or really talked about it on the channel, but essentially this run defense allowed one of the linebackers that kind of is in a stand-up, he's like a rusher on the play, but he's in a stand-up position, but he kind of hovers in the gap. A certain play in the nickel 2-4-5 odd formation would allow this guy to come in untouched and essentially sack the QB before he could hand off on a stretch play. In certain formations, it didn't work against every stretch play in the game, but some of the more popular ones. I'll put some clips up on the screen. I'll try to find some. A lot of YouTubers posted it. I just never posted it on this channel, but a lot of people did. So I have some clips. Basically, like I form close, one of the more popular formations and stretch runs in the game. If you ran this defense versus that, it would hit the QB in the backfield before he could hand it off, which, let's be honest, is a glitch. That's not how it's supposed to work. But the reason people like this is because EA had failed to balance the game this year in terms of the run versus the pass. They've done very little to address issues in the passing game, but they've made a couple attempts at balancing the run game, but overall it never happened. The run has always been the most overpowered thing this year. Stretch and dive is the best thing to run on offense. Even if you have the proper defense out there, you will still get glitched out a lot of times just because of how poor the AI and the pursuit is in this game. Most of you know about this, right? So while this run defense was a glitch, it was the community once again kind of finding a workaround for something that EA failed to do, which was balance the run game and make the defense react better to it. Now, in theory, yes, the nickel 245 odd run defense should be patched because it is a glitch. It does not... You shouldn't be able to sack the QB when he goes to hand the ball off. That should never be a thing. Maybe if it happened every once in a blue moon, but not on an every play basis, right? That needs to be fixed. So I get that side of it. But again, when you look at the game as a whole and you look at all the other things that haven't been addressed this year, that's why people are so mad that they did this, and they did it very quickly when we've had issues all year that haven't been addressed or just got addressed recently with the last patch. Now, with the last update video, like I said, I thought EA saved the game or at least made a good attempt at it with that update. And what I meant when I said that, because people take that out of context and they think that I mean, oh, the game is just great now. No, when I say something like that, I'm usually speaking from a meta standpoint, from an online head-to-head standpoint. I'm not speaking about offline. I'm not speaking about the other bugs that are in the game or the issues that have been in Madden for years and years. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the state of the current game, the game we were given, the game that we play. What is one of the biggest things surrounding the game this year? It's the balance of the run versus the pass, and the fact that even if you had good run defense, you were able to glitch out the defense with certain run formations by using motion. When they addressed that, I said this saved the game, because now I thought that would bring more balance back to the game, and I believe that it did in a sense, because we had good run defenses now, and the one formation that was left that was really just causing problems because it was essentially glitching out the defense, they took away the ability to completely just glitch out the defense with that update, which was saving the game in my opinion from a head-to-head standpoint, right? Because it now is going to force more people to pass, which I was seeing a lot more people starting to pass, and I was seeing a lot less people able to glitch out the defense. That's what I meant by this. But now with this update, you kind of take that step back, because one of the best run defenses in the game is now null and void. And again, yes, it was a glitch, but it was the way that the community found to kind of help balance the game, since EA wasn't able to do it. Now, if they had tackled other issues this year, people wouldn't be mad that they patched this. Now, me personally, I think there's still good run defense in the game. I personally use the 3-3-5 wide formation, which is the other popular run defense, and it's a little bit more realistic. That one has worked great for me. I have not had anybody run the ball on me since I started running that, and that defense came out around the same time that this one surfaced as well. So I'm not really mad that they patched the 2-4-5 odd, because I think there is still good run defense. I don't think this is going to unbalance the game, but basically where people are upset with EA is, I guess, the priority of how they choose to do things. They patched this very quickly, but they took 7 months to patch I-Form Tight, which was the last update when I said they saved the game. They finally patched that after 7 months of them knowing that was a problem and it was glitching out the defense. They patched this in a month. We still haven't had any fixes to things like contain blitzing. Big Dime 146 has been a thing since day one in the game, and they've known about it. We've all known how terrible it's been. It's made passing a real problem. It's made passing not something that's really valuable, because it's so easy to get quick pressure, and even if you know how to block it and roll out and things like that, you still have other problems in the game, right? Like, you can't really be an effective pocket passer in this game if you're playing against anybody that kind of knows what they're doing, because they're going to get pressure off the edge, and even if you try to check it down, make a quick hot read, which is what you're supposed to do in real life versus the blitz, you half the time will get a quick or a pressure inaccurate penalty, which means your pass is inaccurate. It's either going to probably get picked off or it's going to be incomplete, even though you're not really doing anything wrong. And then the windup of your QB is so slow that even when you try to make a hot read to check it down, sometimes you still get hit because the contains are so glitched that you can't consistently blocked him. They have done nothing about that all year. They haven't touched contains, they haven't touched Big Dime 146, they haven't addressed the fact that cloud flat zones will glitch out and get sucked down anytime you roll out. That's been an issue all year when you roll out with an escape artist and throw a corner out. One of the best zones to stop that corner out is a cloud flat, but if you roll out, the cloud flat sucks down every time and you glitch it out, right? They haven't addressed that all year. They haven't really made any attempt to fix pursuit angles or make force defenders better so that stretch wouldn't be as powerful. All of these things they've made no attempt at, or they've done it months and months into the game, whereas the community kind of finally found a way to hit a few runs in the backfield and they took it out immediately. And that's what people are mad about. Now, the 2-4-5 odd run defense, while it did destroy some things like I form close and a couple other formations, there were still plenty of stretch runs that still destroyed that defense. But you had to kind of think that next step ahead and say, okay, outside of the basic stretch plays that everybody knows, what are the other ones in the other formations that would work well against this because of how the formation is aligned? There were plenty of those. So I guess when you combine the fact that there were plenty of ways to beat that run defense, but also the fact that all of the other things haven't been addressed, that's why the community is really aggravated that they took something out so quickly when their track record this year was, you know, not taking out plenty of things that were keeping the game unbalanced. There's only a couple times this year with the run game that I think they made a decent effort to balance it. One, when they fixed user defender fake outs, I thought that was good. That was a good step because if my user defender can't get faked out if I'm in good position, then that helps me against the run. And then also they buffed the run commit a little bit, at least the up the middle run commit. But that's a real dicey way to try to play defense versus the run. But at least, again, I can appreciate that attempt. But then when you look at all the other things they didn't do, and now they're taking away run defenses that are good, yeah, the community's going to be upset about that. So I think it's just priorities going forward. Balance is one of the hardest things for any video game, but it's one of the most crucial, and Madden 20 has been, if anything, the worst part about it has been balance, or lack thereof. So that's why people are mad, but that's the update. We've got 2 gameplay fixes. Technically, both were bugs or glitches that were fixed, and then we got general stability improvements for franchise. So I believe this is the last update of the year. Let me know what you think below. Check out some of the other videos here, and as always, I will see you guys next time.